You know the morning rush. You have zero time to cook, but need a real breakfast. Imagine if you just pour in hot water, give it a stir, and instantly have a warm, hearty bowl of food ready to eat. You can make that happen by investing just 15 minutes of batch prep on a Sunday. That short window of work gives you weeks of instant, preservative-free breakfasts. We're going to break this process down into 3 steps. First, we'll build the master base. Next, we'll cover the storage techniques that keep it fresh. Finally, we'll walk through 3 distinct 5-minute meal applications for that single jar. By batch prepping your dry ingredients, you completely bypass the friction of cooking in the morning without relying on processed foods. Let's start making the mix. This chart shows your 3 main options for the base grain. Thick semolina, or Rava, is the standard choice, but you can easily swap that out. If you want more fiber, use cracked wheat. And for a gluten-free option, flattened rice works perfectly. Step 1 is to measure 3 cups of your chosen grain and pour it into a completely dry, heavy-bottomed pan. Keep your stove set to low or medium heat. You must stir this continuously. If you let it sit, the bottom layer will scorch, creating burnt pockets that will introduce a bitter taste to your entire batch. Keep it moving. After 5 to 6 minutes, check this side-by-side comparison. The pale, raw flour on the left transforms into a slightly golden, sandy texture on the right. The raw smell will also disappear. That is your cue. Once it reaches that toasted stage, take it off the stove and immediately transfer it to a separate plate. If you leave it in the hot pan, the residual heat will overcook it. Dry roasting develops a nutty flavor, while simultaneously removing residual moisture from the grain. Removing that moisture is the most effective way to ensure the final mix is shelf-stable. Next, we build the flavor. Heat up 4 tablespoons of ghee or coconut oil in your pan. This fat acts as the carrier for all our spices. Drop in a teaspoon of mustard seeds and wait for them to pop. Once they do, add in a tablespoon each of urad dal and chana dal, along with a handful of chopped cashews. Keep your heat low here. You only want the lentils to turn a light golden color. If they burn, every single bowl of breakfast you make from this batch will taste bitter. Now bring in your fresh aromatics. Add chopped green chilies, a little grated ginger, and a handful of fresh curry leaves. You will see and hear the leaves crackling and crisping up in the oil. Sauté them until they are completely rigid. This is a mandatory food safety step to fry off all the water content hidden inside those fresh ingredients. By dehydrating the aromatics and fat, you lock their flavor into the oil while keeping the final dry mix completely safe for long-term storage. With the heat turned off, pour your roasted grain back into the pan with the tempered spices. Add a heavy pinch of salt and mix everything thoroughly. Stop right here and let the mixture sit on the counter. It must cool down completely to room temperature before you pack it away. Sealing a warm mix traps escaping steam. That condensation on the lid guarantees your mix will grow mold. Once fully cooled, store it in an airtight container. It stays fresh for a month at room temperature, or 4 months in the fridge. That rinse during the cooling phase makes the difference between a ruined batch and a reliable pantry asset. Now let's use the mix. For a classic upma, bring 2½ cups of water to a rolling boil and add a single drop of oil or ghee. To prevent a lumpy texture, lower the heat to a simmer first. Then slowly pour in 1 cup of your dry premix while stirring continuously. Cover the pan for 2 to 3 minutes. This allows the steam to fully hydrate the grains. When the time is up, take off the lid and fluff it with a fork. Your breakfast is done. If you want a heavier meal, we can turn this into a vegetable khichdi. You just need a higher hydration ratio. Bring 4 cups of water to a boil, drop in some fast-cooking chopped veggies, and add a pinch of turmeric. Pour 1 cup of the dry mix into that vegetable water. Seal it in a pressure cooker on low heat and let it cook for exactly 1 whistle. By adjusting the liquid ratio and swapping the cooking vessel, you take the exact same dry base from a fluffy breakfast porridge to a hearty vegetable-packed stew in under 5 minutes. There's one more application, a savory Rava dosa. Take ½ cup of your premix and whisk it together with a little rice flour, maida, a spoonful of curd, and water to create a batter. Unlike a standard thick pancake batter, this mixture needs to be very thin and watery. That specific consistency is how you achieve a crispy, lacy texture. Once your greased skillet is smoking hot, ladle the thin batter directly onto the surface. Let it cook until the edges turn golden brown and crisp up. Look at the results. You have a steaming bowl of upma, a rich vegetable khichdi, and crispy Rava dosa. 3 vastly different meals, all originating from that single jar of dry premix. Spending 15 minutes on weekend prep yields hours of saved time during your busiest mornings. It is completely customizable to your diet and free of artificial preservatives. Which grain are you going to use for your base? Semolina, wheat, or rice? Let me know in the comments below and subscribe for more meal prep strategies. Mastering foundational base mixes gives you the ability to eat healthy, homemade food even on your tightest schedule.